and you'll be able to choose from 4 colors, and I'll show these colors right now. All right, and this will give me an opportunity to kind of get more information about my audience and see what they like to see. I am limited on 2 colors. And welcome back to the Ninja of One YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about the color scheme for the racetrack fairings that go on this 2024 ZX6R 40th Anniversary Edition. If you've been following along on the ZX6R build series, you'll note that the last video I made was when I was at the racetrack. And then I had a couple other ones that came out that did the recall. And I'll have another video about an update for the recall. But what I'd like to do right now is give you a quick walk around to show you the parts that are on the bike that are going to be replaced with the track fairings. And then I'll take you to another room and I'll show you the racetrack fairings that we're going to get painted. And then you guys are going to be able to pick a color scheme based on 4 options. And I'll have the link in the description below, where you'll just click on it and it'll take you straight to it, and you'll be able to choose from 4 colors, and I'll show these colors right now. All right, and this will give me an opportunity to kind of get more information about my audience and see what they like to see. I am limited on 2 colors, and that is blue and green. I opted out for the white. It was going to cost way too much, and plus I'm putting a bunch of stickers on here. I'll try to get you a snapshot of those that I have, and maybe you guys can write in the comments about where I might place some of them. Other than that, I'm going to grab that camera and do a quick walk around. All right, so the pieces that the racetrack fairings replace are the entire tail section there, upper and lower. And then of course, this tank and the lower tank cowl, it stays with the bike for street and track. It's just this mid, inner, and outer and nose on both sides, and then the lower cowl here. So all that is removed and replaced with the fairings, and then of course the fender. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit more about how I'm going to prep those parts here, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. I've done this a few times, and it takes me about an hour to swap them out. Other than that, we'll take a look at those parts, and then I'll talk about the colors and a couple other things I got going on. So stand by. All right, here are the Armour Bodies racetrack fairings, and this is the under tail fender that was on the bike originally. I have the new undertail fender on the bike with the street fairings. But basically, these are all the parts that are gonna, kind of replace the parts that are on the new one. So I just went ahead and swapped it out, and for the most part, it's just a couple zip tie clips that go on these portions of the tail fender here, and there's some cushions that go in there. We already got the battery cushion in there, and then we have the the starter relay right there. So we're gonna have to probably reuse the bolts until I can get some. They were on back order. And then of course that's the original windscreen there. It's in good shape. I bought a new windscreen for the street fairings, and then we got the underbelly, and then that's working perfectly fine. These are all the screws and bolts that I use for the attachment points. Okay, these are the dash cowls. These are the original that were on the 6. Okay, so I ordered new ones, and those are with the street fairings. And then, of course, I have the fender over here, and you see, I riveted the front brake line retaining brackets on there. They aren't screwed on there. I wouldn't recommend screwing them. There's a reason why they're riveted, and they held up great. But there's just one little minor thing I got to do to it. Down here, where you have a washer, I see I don't have a washer on that top one there. And that is a result of too much buildup on the inside. So I'm going to have to drill that out, of course, for the paint anyways. And then I have to, you know, maybe Dremel away with a you know, a hard tip bit. Get in there and kind of make a flush area for a washer. And you can see I was able to get it only on the bottom one on both sides. That's because there was too much buildup. So that's an easy fix. I knew what I was doing, and it was holding. I would have used another rivet if I had to. Okay, so then the tail. This is where I'm going to have to do a little bit of work too. So on the tail, I have to trim down this area right here. I'm trying to hold this flashlight, and I gotta trim down this area right here because that was hitting the frame. So what I did is it's the same on this side too. Yeah, I used a rubber grommet. I cut it in half, and then I used the slit part where it kind of wraps around the inside and outside of the fairing as a grommet. I used that, and it was pressing up against the frame just fine, no problems. But yeah, I still want to trim that down. And then these holes got to be a little bit bigger for the panel. They pass now, but once it gets painted, I'm going to end up having to, you know, grind down or sand down or file down with a round file. And I don't want to do that to the paint. So I'm going to make sure there's enough space in these holes that I know are going to be a tight fit. And then, of course, we're going to step over here, and we're going to look at this upper and mid, and everything is in good shape here. There's a couple holes I have to make a little bigger. I am going to have to kind of resolve the issue here where the lower tank, the lower tank cowl slides into these two slots. I don't know, it's not catching on this Velcro portion of the frame for that attachment point. So I think I might have to either bring this bring this forward a little bit, this tip and this tip, to accommodate that flex that it has right now where it's kind of bubbling out. So, so that's pretty much it for the fairings. You know, you only have a few pieces there replacing quite a few other pieces. So, and of course, all this stuff is labeled. So when I swap from track to street, all these baggies are labeled already, and I just put the screws, the push pins, the bolts, whatever. I just put those in the bags that are already labeled, and it really goes really quick. And then if I get, you know, forgetful, I can go to the instructions. So, you know, those are up online. All right, so let me close out downstairs. Hang on, guys. All right, so don't forget, in the description, the link for the color scheme. You got 4 options. It'll only take you a second. I appreciate all your participation, all your support. And by the way, I hit 1,000 subscribers just this past Monday. It was official. And I'm on my way to whatever happens after this. But I have you to thank for it. And with that said, make sure you check out the link in the description for the color scheme. And I will have another video out on the recall and an update. Some really good news. You might have heard of it already, but there's some of you who haven't. So stay tuned. And thank you again for tuning in.